Hi guys, how are you? Listen, I got a question from a woman and it's very important. And I thought I would talk it out a little bit to all of you. And I'm going to send this to her so she has some answers to her question. So it's a mother, of course, good old moms. Her son is 31 and he has recently, 2 years ago, she set a boundary with him that he could not live in her house anymore. And he was going to jail. So I think he did 2 years in jail. And then he went right back again, right after he got out, I think she said, unfortunately, and did another 16 months. And now he's getting ready to get out again. And there's a housing crisis in her country. And there's no place for him to go. There's no homeless shelters. There's no emergency places. There's nothing for him to go. And she's having a really hard time about letting him go from jail to the street. And she just doesn't think she can handle another relapse in her house. And what it does to her is make her sick. And she's in a jam. And I knew all of you could relate to that, that follow me, because here is the dilemma, right? What do we do? We love someone so much and we want to help. But, what do you do? So here's a few options. Here's a few things. One is she doesn't have to do anything. He's 31. There's other people getting out of jail, like he is, getting out of prison. And they're figuring it out, right? What they're going to do. So that's one option, is she can just stick with her boundary and say, I'm sorry, you can't come here. I love you, but you can't come here. We've done this before, right? So, however, I am a mother myself, and I know that that is really, really hard. So I like to give people options. I'm not sure when this is happening, so I'm hoping that she has a little time here to pray, ask her higher power for some direction, and to also do some footwork. Okay, this is the first thing I would do, is I would call the prison and ask them if they don't have any transitional opportunities for prisoners. There's no transitional opportunities at all. There's no halfway houses. There's nothing at all. Now, he might have told you, no, there's nothing. I'm going to be on the street. You need to find out yourself. So call, Google, whatever, and find out if there's any transitional opportunities that are being presented to him, okay? Because right there, if he's being presented an option and he's telling you his only option is to come home, don't let him come home. He needs to take the option they gave him, okay? So that's the first thing I would do, is find out from the prison itself. Then I would also find out, I would Google and I would call the authorities in your area, maybe go down to the police station even, and find out if there are no homeless shelters at all. Where are they housing emergency people? There has to be a place. There has to be some kind of something going on. Now, there might not be free. Does he have any insurance? Does he have state insurance, or what do they do? I don't know what they do in Australia. But is there any government insurance involved that will pay for sober living? Are there any sober livings there? Right? Okay, so let's say there's nothing, which I find hard to believe. I just really do, especially with the time of crisis we're in right now. So there's nothing available, and this guy's going to be on the street. Well, first thing, I've lived on the street. It didn't kill me. I'm just going to say it. I know that sounds harsh, but if it wasn't for living on the street and being homeless, I probably wouldn't have gotten sober. So, I mean, there's that. He is 31. He's not 13. If he really wants to stay sober, he's going to stay sober. Are there existing open meetings in your area? I don't know, because of the pandemic. Are AA and NA meetings open yet? Okay, you want to find that out. Let's say that you absolutely hate everything I'm saying and you're thinking, Karen, you're just out of your mind. I'm not going to let my son do this. Okay, so you're going to let him come home. This is what you're going to do. Piece of paper and a pen. You're going to write down, how long is he coming home for? 2 weeks? How long does it take someone to get a job? right? 1 month? See, that's not even enough time. So your sanity is not going to be able to take it for more than 2 weeks. I'll just tell you right now. If he got out of jail after 2 years, I'm kind of talking this out at the same time. You know, just follow me here. If he got out of jail for 2 years and he went right back, the likelihood he's going back again is probably pretty high, unless he does something drastically different. Is moving in with you drastically different? I don't think so. I don't know if it's going to be helpful at all. If you let him move in and he gets a job, let's say it takes him 3 weeks to get a job, then he's got to start getting paychecks and accumulating paychecks until he has enough for first and last and blah, 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 blah. He's going to be with you for a good couple of years. I mean, think about it. You know, it's just like relationships. They're easy to get into and they're shit to get out of, right? Very hard to get out of. So I want you to write this down. How long is he coming for? 1 month until he finds a place to stay? Does he have any friends? Does he have any other family? Right? Does he have anybody else he can go stay with? How long is he going to stay? 1. 2, while he's staying there are no drugs and alcohol in the house. Pot is a drug. You're going to have to clarify it in writing. There are no drugs and alcohol in my house. Do not smoke in my house. If you're not a smoker and you want to smoke outside, you're going to have to write it down, right? You're in the house by 10 p.m., 9 p.m., whatever it is. When you go to bed because you've got to work tomorrow, what time is it? Lights out, TV's off, lights out this time. He can read in bed, right? He's going to be so happy he's out of prison. He can read in bed if he needs to. Be quiet. He's got to get up at this time. Otherwise, he's going to be laying and sleeping on your couch all day. Get up, get out of the house. You got to go to 2 meetings a day. If meetings are open in your hood, in your country, morning meeting, evening meeting. He's got to go to 2 a day. Have him sign a court card. Whatever. I'm sure he's going to be on parole, right? So what's the parole officer got planned? You're going to be parole officer number 2. Okay, so 2 meetings a day. He's got to stay. So he's got a piss test every week, every Friday. You're going to get a urine test from the drugstore or take him to the doctor. He's going to drug test, right? I mean, this sounds severe, but this is serious. His addiction can not only kill him, it can kill you. If you're letting him back in your private space, right, against all odds, you are going to have to say. Now, when you come up with these things, right, he's got to look for a job every day. He's got to go to 2 meetings every day. He's got to do his own laundry, right? He's got to take out the trash, whatever it is, write it down. Or you are going to be screwed the first day he's home. Then the next thing, what happens, this is the part people forget. You got a contract, you date it, you sign it, it spells it out. This is the agreement. This is not between parents. This is between 2 people. This is our agreement. If you don't do this, what happens? You got to have consequences, and you got to have the balls to pull the trigger on the consequences. If you don't have the balls to do that, don't let him in your house. Okay? So if the thing is, if you don't do this, you know, for a lot of people I say, you know, the consequences, I'm getting you an Uber to the homeless shelter. This is the homeless shelter. You call ahead, you make sure they got room. You know, if you don't do what I say, I'll get you an Uber. I'm not driving you out there. I'll get you an Uber and you get out of here. You go to the homeless shelter, they'll feed you, there's showers, you're safe. That's where you're going to go. Okay? So, exit plan. If there are no homeless shelters, then you're going to have to put him on the street. And I don't think you can do it. If you can't do it right now, I don't know how you're going to do it when he's in your house using. See what I mean? So I am the realist here. I am the alcoholic addict. And I am a codependent. And there is no easy way to do this. It is easier not to get into bed with the devil than to try to get out of bed with the devil. He's not going to let you go. Okay? So My advice is do some footwork, find another place for this guy to go. Also, he's 31. He doesn't need his mother to do this. If he's old enough to pull off shit and crimes and go to prison, he's old enough to figure out his exit plan. Recovery is free. You go to AA and NA. I have helped so many homeless people get sober. I can't even tell you. I've seen homeless people. I've suggested they go to we have Coachella Valley Rescue Mission. They have a free program out there. You can stay for a year. They get you set up with a job. They get you back on your feet, right? No. Is it easy? No. Is it Malibu on the cliffs with swimming pools and movie stars? No. But people get sober. Okay? You're his mother, right? But he's 31. You must take care of yourself. If you are not going to Al-Anon yet, you need to go. Find it on Zoom, Al-Anon family groups. Go today. Tell them I sent you. Okay? I've helped a lot of people in Australia. Al-Anon is strong. It's going to be hard. But he's a grown man. The consequences of his actions are the only thing that's going to turn his life around. I'm sorry, you can't love someone sober. And living on the street is not the worst thing that can happen to you. So there's suggestions if you want to take them. If you don't want to let them go on the street, write a contract, be specific, like detail, okay? Because alcoholics and addicts will wiggle around and say, pot's not a drug, it's legal. Well, so is drinking, but I can't drink, right? Write everything down. The time he's to come into the house, there's no people in the house. There's no girls coming in and spending the night. There's no buddies coming over and playing GameCube or whatever, Pac-Man or whatever PlayStation. I don't know, Pac-Man. I just dated myself. Be specific and have the consequence on the other side. What's going to happen if this happens? And have an end date. You can come home for 2 days. You can come home for 1 day. You can come home for 2 weeks. You can come home for 1 month, 1 year. That's up to you. This is all up to you. But I'm giving you every angle here. It seems to me that if you were my mother and you said, if my brother was getting out of prison and this thing has happened a couple times, I'd tell her, you made this boundary for a reason 2 years ago, Mom. Why are you changing it now? Right? Because your own guilt, that you think that you've done something wrong, which is why he's in prison in the first place. And I'm going to tell you what, you are not responsible. You are not. He is 31 years old now. There's just as much help for him as there is for you and anybody else struggling and suffering. So get to Al-Anon today. Take the footwork I told you, call the prison. Call and look for homeless shelters, look online, go to the police station, fire station, ask them what are people doing for help, right? And, do a little footwork and pray. Okay, I'm here for you. So let me know as you're going through this. If you need help, just direct message me back. But otherwise, I hope somebody else out there in the world, I'm sure they did, got something out of this. Okay, I know this is tough. Have a great day.